going on, everyone? As always, he's Dave.
And he's Dave.
And this is the Sports Rant. Welcome back, everyone. So we kick this right off going into NFL. You saw our show last week. We were boasting about how Dez Bryant signed with New Orleans Saints and how that was going to just add another dynamic. We had our pros and cons to it. But then what happened?
Yeah, he tears his Achilles, and he offers now what he was going to offer from the beginning. Nothing, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So it is what it is.
That's what you call a little bit of karma there. You know, he got offered that nice contract with Baltimore before the season ever started.
Right.
Granted, Baltimore's not a powerhouse, but he could have made a difference out there, especially with that transition going away from Joe Flacco. And now they're going to concentrate on Jackson, looks like.
Which I don't know about that. He's looking terrible. Every time he touches the ball, he does.
Well, that's we got to see how that turns out.
I thought Jackson was going to be a steal of the draft, but so far he's looking pretty horrible.
They haven't been using him right either. You know, they've been mixing him in there with Flacco at time to time.
Yeah,
you know?
But how you use him right? I mean, they use him to do what he did the best, which is, you know, fake run or definitely running, you know, the read zone pass option situation.
Right.
And every time I watch it, it's like negative yards, maybe 1 or 2 yards tops.
I also think you're going to see a change in the guard at the head coach position. I think Harbaugh's
done?
In Baltimore, yes.
Wow.
I think he's done.
Wow.
Too many years since that last Super Bowl and not much to show for it. Either that or you give him 1 more year and see what happens between Flacco and Jackson.
I think you got to give him another year. Yeah. I mean, Flacco's been hurt past 2 years. You know, they ain't giving him. Name me a wide receiver from Baltimore.
Can't. They let everyone walk.
Exactly. So and they running backs. It seems like they get them in the 7th round every year. I mean, come on.
Can't wait that long. So basically, Saints turn around and they sign Brandon Marshall.
Right.
I see this as a definite downgrade from any positive thing that Dez could have brought to the team.
I happen to agree with you here.
You know,
Brandon Marshall's finished.
You're talking about the last 3-4 teams: Cleveland, New York, and Seattle. He ain't done jack.
Yeah, he's horrible.
You know, again, that's Drew Brees in the center, but there's only so much you do when someone's not just plain old catching the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, let's not forget Giants, just dropping shit left and right with the Giants too.
He gets no separation either.
No,
not anymore.
None. That explosiveness that he had when he first entered the league is just long gone. Now, New Orleans is still rolling. They stomped. Straight up embarrassed Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I
fired defensive coordinator right after that.
Oh, that's just bad. But you know what? The writing's on the wall. How much longer do you give Marvin Lewis at this point?
I mean, you should have fired him when they had the playoff game against the Steelers and they had the meltdown at the end of the game. Total lack of discipline by the players, and that's a head coaching situation.
And where's the responsibility to your fans when you turn around and you rehire your old offensive coordinator, Hugh Jackson, who just got fired from a tumultuous 2+ years, winning only, 3 games with Cleveland?
And why would you hire him, is my question. Nothing was wrong with your offense. The offense wasn't the problem.
Exactly.
It was your defense, which was last in the league.
And that's hard to believe that they're that bad, given that Marvin Lewis is a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
You'd think at some point he would have stepped in before the bleeding got as bad as it was,
which is why he shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I gotta say,
fire Marvin Lewis so we can hire him as our defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. The Washington Redskins ain't that smart. So
seems like it.
Another big game: Tennessee against New England in Tennessee. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't see this coming.
I don't think anybody did. But do you think it's more of Tennessee being that skilled, or is it that the head coach from Tennessee used to play for Belichick?
Well, I give Vrabel a lot of credit for going in there and remembering what his head coach brings to that dynamic to that team, and countering it as best as possible with the guys that he does have. Because let's be honest here, Mariota has not won any popularity contests as far as when you're ranking quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
You know,
he's been playing well the past couple of weeks, though.
He's been playing okay, but I still wouldn't put him anywhere near that top 10.
Not at all.
Okay?
Not at all.
That being said,
and the dude from Alabama's garbage.
Yeah.
The big for nothing, Brandon Jacobs Part 2. Exactly. He's trash.
But now you go ahead and you got to look at this other aspect. Every time Gronk hasn't played this year, Brady's had an off game. Mm-hmm. Okay. You got to start wondering at what point do you say he doesn't have enough weapons on this team?
Well, yeah, you can say that, but I mean, this is the first year that's been like that, really. Gronk misses a lot of time.
Yeah.
He misses a lot of time every year. And every year, they put up ridiculous numbers no matter what.
Coincidentally, just want to interrupt one thing. Mm-hmm. The years that Gronk has not participated in the Super Bowl, New England's won. The years that he has participated, 0 victories.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I have to look at that.
I find that because think back to the second matchup, New England and Giants. Mm-hmm. Okay, Gronk was hobbled. They didn't win that one. Mm-hmm. Okay, you flash forward the year they beat Seattle. I don't think they had Gronk that year. Mm-hmm. They didn't have Gronk when they beat Atlanta, and they came back from that 28-point deficit. Mm-hmm. But they had Gronk last year against Philly, and they lost.
That's an interesting dynamic. I never paid attention to that.
So it's just odd how this is working out, but you got to start wondering if receiver-wise, they just don't have the dynamic that they used to. Because Brady was 21 for 41, 254 yards, sacked 3 times though. That you got to start wondering: is he not seeing the defensive scheme, or is it just Vrabel's approach to this game?
I think I gotta give the props to the coach Vrabel. You gotta give the props to coach. You gotta give him the props, man.
Yeah.
And their offensive line ain't all of that.
No, it's not what it used to be. I do think that people are hitting the panic button too early by trying to say that Brady's done.
Yeah, they lost 3 games.
3 games, and again, when he's hit with the blitz, as has been proven multiple times during his career, he doesn't handle that well.
Right. Most quarterbacks don't.
No
quarterback likes to get hit in the face. That is what it is.
And his rushing, the rushing game didn't help nothing. 40 yards for the entire game for the Patriots.
Well, Sony Michel's hurt. Well, he was hurt, right? And now, and he was hurt he was hobbled that game.
Right.
So it wasn't, he's in my fantasy team.
Any Patriots fans that are out there and trying to panic and just knock it off. The same thing goes for the media. Brady's not done yet, okay? Right. Until he actually can't complete a pass, then you can say he's done. When he says, I can't do it anymore, that's when he says he's done. He's earned that. The Jets.
Sad situation, man.
You know what I call them now, right?
What?
Just expected to lose. To suck, I should say. All right?
Yeah,
JTS. Just expected to suck.
Yeah.
That's it at this point.
That's basically what it is.
This is just bad game management. This is bad front office management. Todd Bowles is done in New York.
Yeah, he's finished.
Okay? And when you look at the last 6 games,
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for him too, especially when you consider the success he had as a defensive coordinator with Arizona. But you've had almost 3 years now in New York, and you haven't gotten it done. Okay? All right, the first year here, they went 10-6 with Fitzpatrick on the center. But then what happens there when everything is said and done?
Yeah, you missed the playoffs.
You missed the playoffs. Okay?
And
even at 10-6, you look at that season, there only 3 games of those 10 wins were against teams that were in the playoffs the year before. Every year after, it's been a slow declination, to worse and worse and worse. I don't see them winning any more games this year.
Well, they don't really have. They don't have any offensive weapons. Cause just like Baltimore, you can't name me a wide receiver on the Jets. They lost Bilal Powell for the season. Yeah. I don't know any other running backs on their team. They got this rookie quarterback in there who was playing linebacker 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I mean,
Darnold should be on the sidelines holding the clipboard. You're paying Josh McCown $10 million for this year anyway.
Yeah,
and as bad as his performance was against Buffalo, damn.
Now Buffalo defense is pretty good.
Buffalo defense is good, but you got beat by Matt Barkley.
Yeah, that was
Matt Barkley hasn't played in the NFL since 2016, folks.
That was pretty bad.
Okay, was drafted in 2013 by Philly and didn't amount to jack shit. You can't get more embarrassed than that. Someone who wasn't even on Buffalo's starting roster in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I see them going 0-6. They got New England, Tennessee, Buffalo, Houston, Green Bay, and they finished in New England. They're not winning any of these last 6 games.
Well, if they have any kind of pride, which it doesn't seem like they do.
No, they
this point,
seem to have quit.
Except for Jamal Adams, but he's throwing the team under the bus. at this point.
Oh, I like the Twitter of me playing in Dallas in the future.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
What
are you doing? Right, what are you doing? These LSU dudes really be in their feelings. Mm-hmm. They a bunch of half-asses. It seems like all of them. It's like LSU, man. Yeah. Come on.
That rings very similar to when Beckham. I don't like it in New York. I don't like the weather here. I don't want to live here.
Hodel.
Motherfucker, you signed a contract to play here. You don't turn around afterwards and say you don't live here.
Exactly.
Jamal Adams, you don't like a tweet suggesting you could play in Dallas in a couple of years when your rookie contract is up.
You're a professional. Act like one.
Millennials.
Yeah, millennials. Millennials.
But
they could take Buffalo if they wanted to.
But they won't.
Yeah.
And mind you, that next game will be in Buffalo. Remember, this past game was at home.
Yeah, man.
This is done. So we were both wrong regarding our teams.
Yeah, we was wrong.
Dead wrong.
But in my defense, they did rack up 501 total yards on us.
Yeah.
But only scored 3 points. Hail to the Redskins. Good job.
The defense did it. And you know what? Interesting stat I was looking up the other day. In their 6 wins, the Redskins have never trailed at any point in their game.
Yeah.
So you got to give the defense some respect.
And in the 3 losses, we trailed for the whole game.
Yeah.
We haven't had a lead change in 9 games this whole season.
No, but I'll give it to your defense because Fitzpatrick was throwing on y'all.
Yeah, he was throwing. He was running.
400+ yards.
He was throwing and running.
But you got the 2 picks, you got the 2 forced turnovers, 2 fumbles, and overall four turnovers, and you held them to a field goal with all that offense. I got to give them respect.
Got to give them respect on that one.
On the other end,
and their kicker sucked. They got rid of him.
Yeah, cut him right away. My Giants actually won their 2nd game of the year.
Eli brought him down the field at the end of the game to take the game over.
That aspect was vintage Eli, but I'm still not writing home about it. It was still less than 200 yards passing. Barkley still did his thing. Beckham did his thing when it came to catching passes in the end zone.
Yeah, he dropped the first pass of the game.
He did.
Which I was like, I hope I see him on the sideline. Right. Bitching and complaining because I want to jump to the screen.
Now I will say this though, the defense is a far cry from what it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Should be a fire sale this year.
There should be, but I got to give respect to both the tight end Kittle.
Yeah, Kittle was nasty.
Kittle was just balling.
He's a top 5 dude, man. He's a top 5 guy.
He is.
He's a top 5 guy, in my opinion. Brandon Calvo was right.
Yeah. If you hear Brandon, we're giving you
your props, kid. You were right on that one.
I will say this though: between the 2 teams that were playing Monday night, you kind of got a sense that there's a fire in San Francisco's players that the Giants just don't have. They look like they're ready to turn that page and become a team that can compete in another year.
He hasn't lost the locker room.
No,
Kyle Shanahan.
No, Shanahan has.
They're still buying into the message.
And you know what? You see something from him you don't see from Sherman on the sidelines. You see passion. Whether he's right or wrong on a call that's made against his team on the field, he's out there barking.
So you think Shermer's the wrong coach for y'all?
I think Shermer's a little too laid back for New York. I kind of miss the Coughlin days where he would just get in a referee's face and just argue a call. Even if he was wrong, argue the call. Point out to him, you called it too early. You called this too soon. You're not paying attention to on the other side of the ball. You don't get that from Shermer.
Okay.
So
would you want to get rid of him? Or
I'm not going to get rid of him yet.
How long are you going to give him?
Let's see, give him 1 more year. We gave McAdoo 2 years. He did well his first year. Screwed up the second year and completely lost the locker room.
Right.
You haven't heard anything about the locker room losing faith in Shermer yet.
Right. I'm waiting for Odell to just come out and say something because it's coming.
It's only a matter of time.
It's coming. Only a matter of time.
I will give Odell one thing though. I will. All the nonsense that's been coming out of his mouth. He gave Eli some props at the end of that game.
Oh, did he?
And he did it in public.
What did he say?
He said that's Eli Manning. That's the veteran. That's the future Hall of Famer. And you saw vintage Eli tonight.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Odell was learning.
Odell was humble, okay? I got to give it to him. Does that mean he's growing up? Probably not, but...
Nah. You saw what he wore to the game?
Yes.
And how he came in dancing?
Yeah, looking at trying to be MJ.
Silly run. All
right. Big ups, rest in peace, Michael Jackson, wherever you are.
Hey, Odell.
Okay. College football, no change in the top 8. Top 10. No one lost in the top 10.
They shouldn't have been.
So there's no change there, but the biggest game this weekend is going to be Notre Dame against Syracuse at Yankee Stadium.
Now, Now,
this is a test.
For the past 3 weeks, I've been telling you.
Yes, you have. And you know what? I wasn't listening because prior to 3 weeks ago, Syracuse wasn't even ranked. They've been climbing, and they're now number 12.
Incremental climb.
Yes, increment. They've been jumping. You know, with the exception of this week, they only went at one spot. But the previous couple of weeks, 5 jump spot, and you know, I gotta.
It's gonna be a game this weekend. It's gonna be a game this weekend. So I'm not saying y'all gonna lose, but it ain't gonna be no.
Defense is gonna be tested.
They're gonna be tested. Yeah.
Okay.
Is your quarterback still hurt?
No, Ian Book is slated to start. But you know what? After the performance Wimbush did last week, I'm comfortable either way.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Brian Kelly knows what he's doing. I got faith in Brian Kelly as well. So we'll see what happens at the end of that day. Of course, you know who I'm going for.
No doubt.
Because I want to see my guys in the college football playoff.
And I want you to be happy. So
I want to be happy too.
I'm going for you too.
Do I see them beating Clemson or Alabama? No. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
But anything could happen on any given day. So
right.
Hold up. Go Irish.
Go Irish.
Okay, so on Alabama, as I said, Alabama, Tua's hurt.
Right.
Jalen Hurts isn't even playing. He's inactive. Yes. They're playing who this week?
The Citadel.
Throwaway game. But do you start Tua?
Well, he says he is. Now, I think he might play him for like 3 or 4 series, let him rack up 20 points, and then sit him and then run the ball the rest of the game. I don't think it's a big thing. Now, what could happen is he could get really hurt.
Yeah.
And that would be a problem.
It's going to be a huge problem because you don't know what the extent of Jalen Hurts' injury is right now. The fact that he's just completely inactive just tells you that's a bad situation. The third stringer, Mac Jones. Mac Jones has played sporadically during the course of the year.
Right.
And he's got one big pass for 94 yards and a touchdown. Other than that, not impressive stats. He really hasn't been given any playing time, which, as good of a coach as Saban is, I gotta say, Saban, if your team is blowing out the opponents 56-14, put the third stringer in there earlier. This is why we're at with Tua right now. Tua's been taking these really, really low shots to the knee late in games, and if it winds up progressing to the point where he can't play, then you got to blame Saban.
Yeah, I think me and you can quarter the Alabama Crimson Tide this weekend, and he'll be fine. I'm not worried about him at all.
No, I mean,
it's like Belichick. Saban is like the Belichick of college football. What WWBD? What would Belichick do? What would Saban do? I think whatever he does, I'm fine with until he doesn't win a championship. I believe they coached together.
They played coach together back in the day, so it shows you it runs in the gene pool, how you want to look at that. But if Tua and Alabama had this game early in the first or even halfway into the second quarter, put the third stringer in there and rest Tua. It's not worth getting hurt. All right, NBA, we had a lot going on. We got the drama in Houston.
Right.
Revolving Carmelo Anthony. Now, you and I have
not
not
shot away.
One of my favorite topics. I have not shot away when it comes to Carmelo.
No, I do not.
I will let you have at this because you're the suffering Knick fan.
Carmelo Anthony is a loser. He's going to always be a loser. He has never adapted his game to make it more team-oriented. He's a selfish player. He's always going to be a selfish player. Now, he is being scapegoated out there in Houston.
I agree with you.
But he could be a locker room cancer. I don't know. He's never won anything. So I would say he is. The worst thing that could have happened to Carmelo Anthony was him winning that NCAA championship. To me. Yeah. You know, it just souped his head even that much bigger. And he doesn't think he thinks his shit doesn't stink. No. It stinks, Melo.
And you know what's funny is as much as his Syracuse coach, Bonheim, has gone on the record and praised Carmelo, he's also equally challenged him and saying, he never was a defensive-oriented player, and he never will be. Now, at what point, if you're a player coming into this league, and of course the ultimate measuring stick coming in the draft class of 2003 is LeBron James.
Right.
LeBron kept reinventing himself, kept pushing himself, kept getting himself better. Carmelo has never made himself an interior player. He always stays on the perimeter, and this is now what's hurting his game.
Yeah, but it's always my game. Adapt your game. You're never going to win anything.
No.
You're never going to win anything.
Never going to win anything.
I'm done with him. Wherever he lands up.
Now, again, to touch what you were saying, Houston is trying to make him the scapegoat because they're the ones that let Trevor Ariza walk to go to Phoenix, okay? Which I bet you right now he's regretting. But you don't let that kind of defensive go, and especially when you're losing your defensive and assistant coach, Jeff Bedslick.
Yeah,
okay?
he came back though.
He came back because they're begging him to come back.
Yeah, well, they had to.
The defense is horrible right now.
Right.
You got to wait until Harden is not hurt, coming off the fucking bench, scoring 40 a game. You can't rely on scoring 40 a game every night. You can't rely on Chris Paul coming in and scoring 20 plus and having double-doubles every night.
You can't rely on him being even healthy.
Exactly. I mean, that's the main reason they lost against Golden State.
The only reason they lost. Only reason they lost. They had it won.
They had it won. They would have beat Cleveland, too.
Oh, yeah, they would have been a monkey stomp Cleveland.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is on them. But not taking any blame away from Carmelo because his diminishment as a player is just clear at this point. 34, and he's probably washed up. If he goes anywhere, it's probably going to be to LA. So he could say, I play with my best friend LeBron. But
I don't think LeBron want nothing to do with him.
But see, here's the thing. LeBron's not going to want that because, first of all, you already have 15 players on the team. You already had to make some moves to accommodate the signing of Tyson Chandler, okay? Now, Tyson Chandler's a good defensive center / power forward. He's not going to score for you. And quite frankly, and this I was going to lead into this, I see that as a bit of an overrated move.
Me too. Well, you know I'm no fan of Tyson Chandler.
No.
I never have been.
Because he quit on the Knicks.
Because and he used to always lie and say he gained weight in the off season, but he came back skinnier every year.
And it wasn't even that so much whether he gained weight or not, because sometimes you could argue table weight, midsection like me. At the end of the day, he didn't make himself another one. Did not make himself stronger in the inside game.
No, you got toasted by Roy Hibbert. Where is Roy Hibbert now? What is he selling insurance somewhere? Probably.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well,
Come on.
He's with Chris Paul's brother over at State Farm.
Exactly.
But
Roy
Hibbert.
Hibbert.
Chandler's not going to be good because they're barely beating teams like Atlanta and Minnesota.
Did you hear that half assisty stuff LeBron said the other day? He was thinking about quitting. Oh, what are you talking about?
But see, this just goes to
maneuvered
prove.
to get over there.
This just goes to prove now, though, that his move to LA was nothing more than him setting himself up down the road to be involved in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You hear about all these projects he's going on right now. You're supposed to be focused on basketball. If you want to be focused on Hollywood, retire.
Exactly.
Okay? You don't need the money.
Another crying ass millennial. God, I can't stand them.
And now, speaking about them barely beating Minnesota, that takes us to the Butler trade.
Yeah.
Another millennial.
Yeah.
There's that word again.
Yeah.
We're going to put it up so you all know how to spell it.
Who do you think won that one?
Millennial. Personally, I got to say right now, Philly won that on the short end. Okay? And I say short end because there's no guarantee he's going to re-sign.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, they traded a good portion of their bench just to get him. So where's your depth? This was one of the problems that plagued a team like Cleveland the first year James was back. They had no depth on that bench.
Right.
Okay? Philly has no depth on that bench. Now, the starting three right now, Embiid, Butler, and
the light-skinned dude, I forget his name.
Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
That's a decent starting three. I'll put that against
damn
any
good
starting
starting
three
It's a
in
damn
the
good
NBA
starting three.
today, and especially considering how much improved the Eastern Conference is right now with Toronto and Boston.
But are they really improved? Those were the same two from the past 3 years.
I think they're going to be improved. I think, first of all, you got to understand, we got to remember that Boston was hurt last year in the playoffs, so we don't know what would happen with a Gordon, a Kyrie. Slow start this year, but I think they're going to get that together. If anyone can figure that out, it's the coach Brad Stevens.
They'll get it together.
Milwaukee, okay? Budenholzer has changed that, okay? And
they took out the Warriors the other day.
They took out the Warriors. I mean, granted, it's a Steph-less Warriors right now,
right?
But they took him out.
But he got hurt during that game.
Right. But
so it wasn't
still,
totally Stephless.
No, but the fact that he's just playing on another level right now. The Greek
Steph,
freak.
oh my goodness.
Antetokounmpo is
oh my God.
offensively and
Jesus.
defensively, he's blocking shots that's just ridiculous.
Dunking on motherfuckers, like disrespectful. Son. Like, oh, come on.
It's a version of old school basketball we are longing to see. Okay, and these are legitimate blocks. No one's crying to the ref. Oh, he hit my hand. He hit my hand.
Yep.
No, it's a legitimate
athleticism,
block, okay,
and effort.
Absolutely.
I think that Philly lost this one, and I'm gonna tell you why. Jimmy Butler has shown himself to be a bad person. You're a hoe ass dude. I can understand you being upset that your teammates, these supposed stars, aren't putting their all into it. That I give you props on.
Right.
However, you're a professional. You're being paid by a team to play basketball. Shut the fuck up. Play basketball and not sit on the bench like some crying, whining half a sissy.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I will say this though. That's your take on why Philly lost. Here's my take on why Minnesota lost. If you recall, even though I was not in favor of it, they had that tremendous offer from Houston a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, they should have took that shit.
I told you. Looking at it, and you're absolutely right. You know, they should have taken it because you look at what they got from Philly.
Yeah,
nowhere near what they were getting from Philly. Nowhere
marginal
near what they
players
were offered from Miami.
Yeah, marginal players.
Okay,
just to get him out of there.
Thibodeau probably just signed his own death warrant in Minnesota. What do you think?
I agree. And with a coach like that, you need somebody like Dan Toney to coach them or somebody. Somebody's not going to get in their ass. Thibodeau is going to get in their ass, and they're going to, they're millennials. You know this dude, Carl Anthony Towns has an imaginary friend. Do you know this?
I did not hear
that. Do you know this? That he talks to this person?
I haven't talked to an
imaginary
friend.
He's a grown-ass man.
When would you stop doing that? Kindergarten?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever had an imaginary friend. But if I did, I don't even remember because it was so long ago. I wouldn't even say
imaginary. I say, you're there playing with your G.I. Joes and you pretend you're one of the... okay.
He probably still played with G.I. Joes. Probably She-Ra and Barbie. Hoe ass. Christ, man. It made me sick to my stomach.
Well, we're going to finish up with the whole KD and Draymond fight.
Yes.
The other night.
Well, the little pit-for-pat argument.
Pit for pat argument, but you know what? It shows a mentality right now. There's either some form of jealousy or misunderstanding about who's responsible for what. Which I'm sorry.
Where's the misunderstanding?
Your misunderstanding is all on Draymond.
Clearly.
Okay.
You're not fucking KD.
It's this type of mentality that got him suspended for Game 5 of the Finals a couple of years ago. But now you're taking it out on your own teammate. Yeah. Draymond.
Bringing up, you're not going to be here.
No. Yeah, please. You don't know if he's going to be there.
Some more half a sissy nonsense.
At the end of this season, guess what they have? Guess what Golden State has? They have Durant's bird rights, which means they could offer him 5 years, $200 million plus. Any other team he goes to can only offer him 4 years at I think an average of $41 million a year. He would be nuts to leave Golden State. If you're looking at it from the money perspective. Right. Now, if he's looking at building up his reputation, legend.
That's the only reason why you would leave Golden State.
Elsewhere. Okay.
Because if the championships are there. The championships are there. The money's there. Draymond, you could be replaced. Absolutely. You aren't that important.
And they went around and suspended him. That's how much they think he's invaluble to them. At least for one game.
Now, I would be remiss not to mention this. Who knew was on that team? A certified loser everywhere he goes.
Yeah, Boogie.
My man Boogie. Now, is this Boogie's fault? Probably not. He probably has nothing to do with this.
But do you see something similar happening once Boogie gets on the court?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm not passing you the ball. I'm nice too. No. You pass the ball and you shut up. But it hasn't happened yet, so I'm not even going to go there.
But Dre was definitely wrong. Come on. KD is one of the best shooters in the game today. And his numbers have only gotten better simply because he's on Golden State and is able to take fewer shots a game.
Great shooter, a great ball handler. he's a better player than you, Draymond.
Two-time Finals MVP. This was Steph's team, and KD is the two-time Finals MVP. And Draymond has the nerve.
Give up the rock.
Thank you. Had no business driving the entire length of the court like
These
that.
dark-skinned dudes always think that they
Another millennial.
tough.
Another millennial.
Another millennial. Son.
Go back to Michigan State where you got all the sex assault allegations.
And go beat up people in the club like you do. Anyway.
You can see, this is why it's called a sports rant.
Exactly.
When we get going, we get going.
Ridiculous.
That being said, that's it for today. Appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button if you enjoy what you watch.
Make some comments.
Comments. Let us know. Again, you want us to cover something, you want our opinion on something, let us know. Otherwise, we ain't covering it. Either way, also hit that subscribe, because you know what? It's YouTube. Everyone gets to subscribe. All right? Until next time, he's Dave.
He's Dave.
This was the Sports Rant. Peace.
Peace.